Hey, RetconRaider here, with special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Matthew Smith, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Eerie V23, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Thomaz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, as we continue our second expedition of Act 3. Green Gates is behind us, Molten Scar ahead of us. I think our course is pretty well set. We're just a bit off from Molten Scar, and we might actually get there fast enough to keep most of our buffs running, such as the Majesty of Greater Enduring. I suppose if we have time left over after that, we'll start heading back towards Dresden. We've already got 3 or 4 events queued up, so best to chip away at those before they start piling up too much. But for now, adventure awaits. Onward, my friends. Molten Scar. This is where the skin of the wounded Golarion burst, exposing a flow of boiling magma. The incinerating heat emanating from under the ground did not prevent demons from setting up a base here to assault Dresden. Time and again. Neat. Sounds nice. Oh, we have an event queued. But we'll get to that later. Okay, no immediate combat or dialogue events. And we do have several buffs still running. Let's hit the pause button real quick whilst I figure out which buffs we need to re-up. We'll be right back. Alright, Molten Scar. Let's see what you've got. Corpse. I guess that's a good start. Classic. Lava Fall. Very nice, very scenic. Demonic Torture Circle. That's gonna bring down the property value. Feathered Beasts! I'll choke all of you! Get your talons off of me! Yakleth, Kanaya, Ravuk! Tomasz, what have they done to you? You monsters! Beasts! Now get the second one over here. Yeah, we should probably get down there. In fact, why don't we double time it? Like speed bump. Hey guys. Boy, this is awkward. Slumber? Nope. No rider.
Retreat is not an option.
Goodness. And we're done. Thankfully, rocks aren't really much of a threat to us at this point. Oh, and we're out of bless.
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Trust in yourself.
I'm sure we've got some scrolls. Yes, there we go. And here we go. A large rock looks at you, craning her disgusting bald neck. Her piercing screech sounds menacing. Why are you here? Do you want to become demons too? Rocks will transform you right away. You know what? I think I'm gonna pass on that, but I wouldn't mind knowing who you are and what you're doing here. The rock sticks her chest out and spreads her massive black wings. Vorimeraak, wise rock, magical rock, snatcher of pathetic humans, maker of demons. Other rocks said Vorimeraak was dumb. Leave, chickenhead, they said. And Vorimeraak becomes the favorite student of wise Xanthir the Plagued One, and is now making demons out of humans. Who is dumb now? Drops of saliva fly from the animal's beak, carrying the stench of death. Long have the philosophers wrestled with the question of what makes us superior to demons. We too are susceptible to evil. We are smaller, we are weaker, and so on and so forth. Yet when I look upon this creature, I can categorically declare that we mortals are superior to demons, because we do not look like tattered scarecrows. Thank you, Darren. Ember might take exception to that remark. I'm sorry, Vorimeraak, right? What are you doing here? Unblinking bird eyes stare at you. Vorimeraak is making an army. She sends her flock to get humans, silly crusaders at night. The ones she steals, she transforms, makes good demons, with sharp teeth, who will kill you. Ha 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 ha! The rock bursts into shameless, screeching laughter as she looks at her deformed prisoners. Why, Xanthir the Plagued One told her to fly here and gather an army. Harm humans. He doesn't have time to do it himself. He is busy reading and thinking. He said he would give the Vrock horrific power, like the strongest demons have. Why, Xanthir the Plagued One knows the secret. How to pour more power into demons. When he rewards the Vrock, she will tear off the heads of everyone who banished Vorimeraak. And with the others, she will hunt you from the skies. Pathetic humans. Cool, cool. Yeah, just a slight correction there. I don't think anyone in my party is human, but, I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So how exactly are you doing this? How are you turning people into demons? The Vrock shows you a wrinkled red fist. A piece of paper is clenched within it, smeared with soot and blood. Old knowledge. The wise Vrock read it and did it. The savvy tiefling has serious doubts that the Vrock has ever read anything in her entire life. The savvy tiefling thinks that the wise Vrock is telling fibs. An indignant screech bursts from the demon. This Vrock is wise! The Vrock could not read the script scratches, but Xanthier the Plagued One ordered the Vrock to get the silver-tongued elf who knows ancient words, and he translated everything. He was screaming in pain while Xanthier was eating him. Oh, well that is delightful. Alright, Vorimeraak, you know what? I will indeed agree. You are very wise for a Vrock. So I pose to you this riddle. A halfling hunter and his pet murder cat slaughter a flock of Vrocks, entering the Molten Scar. What can the wise Vrock do to avoid sharing their fate? The Vrock recoils warily and lets out an angry screech. What? Have you come to get the paper? Take your stupid paper. The Vrock will find a new one, even better, and Vrocks will kill you! Kill you! Crumpling the paper, the Vrock throws it at your feet to distract you. Good answer. The wise Vrock is indeed wise. And this one, slightly less so.
Kneel before me.
Cover me, all right?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Waljiv can effectively sneak attack any target that's currently being threatened by one of our riders.
Missed me already.
Alright, so let's see what that spore port left for us. That is lovely. Page smeared with soot and blood. And it does sound like that's important, so let's give that a gander. The paper is old and is stained black with blood in places. Someone has written over the ancient elven runes in blood. Just one fragment in the corner is readable. Not a portal, but a soft spot in the space of the world. Many gods and demons have the power to open such a rift, but doing this will not be to their liking, so they will leave the request unanswered. Therefore, one should pronounce the word Ravuk when creating such a rift. It is an ancient and mighty word of power that belongs to a language now forgotten. This word means no name. Mages of the past often wove it into the texts of their incantations to shelter themselves from the anger of those forces disturbed by rights against nature. Well, that is quite intriguing. Partial instructions on how to open a rift between worlds. Right here in the middle of the world wound. I'm going to guess that's probably relevant. Not to mention it's in ancient Elvish. I imagine we know an ancient elf who might be keen on seeing this. You know, assuming he's not the one who got eaten by Xanthier. And let's have a chat with these unfortunate scouts. Well, that one's dead, so not much for conversation. Gloves of Arcane Eradication. +4 bonus to ranged touch attacks. And +5 on UND checks. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good fit for Ember. What have we got on her right now? Gloves of the Neophyte. Which we're not going to get much use out of at this point because I think we're pretty much done hucking snowballs at people. Yeah, we'll swap those out. We'll toss the hand-me-downs to Nenio next time we're back in Dresden. Okay, now let's have a chat with those scouts. Thomaz and Wollard. And Jannah Aldori. Hello there. Man, now I wish we had Seelah with us. The Crusader in front of you looks terrible. His skin is charred and cracked, oozing blood. Horrible claws are growing from under his nails, tearing them from his fingers. And barely controlled madness is flickering in his eyes. The wheezing coming from the knight's bloodied throat is like the growl of an animal. Help. In the name of all the gods. Easy now. Can you tell me who you two are? Gathering all his strength, the knight gives a short, clipped reply, reporting as he's been trained to do. Crusaders, abducted during an exploratory mission. I am Wollard, and this is Thomaz. The knight nods at his friend. The latter cannot speak. His pointed teeth are growing without stopping, and they have pierced through his lower jaw, sealing his mouth shut. He is moaning something furiously, his bloodshot eyes rolling wildly. Teeth. And, her? Is she with you too? No, they brought her in after. She could barely stand. She was weak from exhaustion. Looked like she hadn't eaten in days. The Brocks tossed her in that cell and haven't touched her since. She hasn't talked to us either. All right, Wollard. How'd you guys get into this mess? The flame of fury is raging in the Crusader's eyes. We were exploring the gorge on Anevia's orders, and we ran into them. Rocks attacked us, beat us up, and dragged us here. We thought they wanted to eat us. Oh gods, it would have been better if they had. If I recall correctly, and I do, scouts are given orders not to let themselves be taken prisoner. I see you chose to ignore those orders. Well, now you understand why they were necessary. Thank you, Regil. Helpful as always. But you know what? I think I'm going to take a softer approach, if you don't mind. Guys, this is awful. I'm sorry this happened to you. The knight stops. A soft, unpleasant sound is heard amidst the silence. The grinding of the Crusader's horrific teeth. Finally, the knight chokes out a response. We have families, Commander. Save us. Hey, I will certainly try. What exactly did she do to you? We were put through some horrifying ritual. Maybe that's how Arue tormented her test subjects. The pain is unbearable, Commander. Like being dipped in boiling water and then dragged over a grater. I saw the abyss. It lunged at me like a wild beast, pouring its vile poison into me. It entered my bones, turning them into molten metal. The rock said I would be their soldier. Thomaz and I are far from the first ones they've done this to. I think they make a kind of tunnel through to their cruel world, and the filth gushes in from there. They pump it into us and make us fight for their side. It pains me to think about it now, but a few times I thought that the demons I killed looked like some of my friends. People I thought had died. Now, I know what happened to them. Thank you, Wollard. That is actually very helpful. Oh boy, what am I going to do with you guys? Help us. Or kill us. But don't abandon us like this. This pain is unbearable. It's taking over my mind. I'm afraid I will kill someone. Maybe the clerics can cure us? Look at me, warrior. I know what you are feeling. I also sense that beast in my soul. I hear its raging howls. But I fight it. Every day, every moment. You are not doomed. You have been marked by the abyss. But it is not a death sentence. I am living proof of that. The Crusader presses his fist to his chest. Yes, the beast inside. How do you resist it? How do you suppress this rage? And we do not have much in the way of options. I know Aeon basically just snaps their fingers and fixes it, whereas the demon actively recruits them. But in our case, as Trickster, I guess it's either kill them or try to cure them, and obviously we're not just going to put them down. Alright guys, come back to camp with us. We'll see what we can do. We might be able to fix this. A bloody tear runs down the knight's cheek. His hoarse voice is trembling. Thank you for not turning your back on us, for not abandoning us. With your permission, Thomaz and I will search the vicinity. Now that the Vrocks have been ousted, we need to gather their poor victims. They need help, too. Yeah, not sure that one's going to have a happy ending. But I guess that's just life in the world, Wound. Not everyone makes it out unscathed. Present company included. Jannah? The girl raises her eyes to you. She is deathly pale, either from exhaustion or terror. You don't know. Knight Commander, it's you. Been a while. How'd you end up here? I got lost. I lost my way when I ran. I walked and walked with no food. And then the Vrocks came and... She shudders and peers around with haunted eyes. Did they do anything to you? Like the ritual they performed on Wollard and Thomaz? Not before you got here. But they said I'd be next. And I couldn't do anything. I just had to watch and wait. Oh, Jannah, what are we going to do with you? She gathers her remaining scraps of strength and takes a deep breath. I know you're angry with me because I ran. I left you in the middle of a fight against the demons. I deserted my duty. But it was my first real battle against actual demons. You abandoned your fellow soldiers and your unit. Your actions possibly cost someone their life. Unless your excuses can somehow resurrect those who died due to your cowardice, there will be a trial, and it may result in a death sentence. Oh, you've done it now. Old Reggie's probably taken your measurements for your noose already. He don't hang about. He finds a noose for every neck, he does. Well, Jeff, buddy, not the best time to pile on. Look, Regil, I know you're going to disapprove, but as the actual commander of the operation she deserted, no one else died. We killed the demons like 5 seconds after she ran. It's fine. No harm done. It happens. I feel like we can call this time served. Come on, Jannah, let's get you out of there. Yes. The girl hesitates as though she doesn't believe it, before nodding. Then she meekly shuffles away. Oh man, I wish we had Seelah with us. But still a reasonably happy ending, all things considered. Post-traumatic stress disorder and all. Really though, aside from tying up a relatively minor loose end, no offense, Jannah, I think our big takeaway here is what we heard from Wollard. The suggestion that this ritual Vorimeraak was carrying out with with that partial rift ritual was a cruder version of what Arilu Vorlesh did to her test subject. Because that is directly relevant to a lot of things we've been running into recently. I mean, obviously, Arilu has a very vested interest in us. And Arsino, the priestess of Abadar we talked to just a couple of episodes ago, also suggested that the mysterious wound in our chest, the source of our powers, might have been caused by direct exposure to the chaos of the Abyss. So I'm thinking Wollard might not have actually been all that far off in his random guesswork. And there's our project to retrieve the Bell of Mercy. As somewhat expected. What is that? Logistics? I think we've actually got the Sword of Valor project running right now. So it's probably another week or so before we can get this one started. Which we definitely want to do. +1 AC versus demons is pretty handy, considering the nature of this campaign. Okay, so 10 days out. About a week and a half. And we have not yet completed our teleportal, so I guess we're stuck hoofing it back. That's fine. That means we just have to do some crusading real quick. We'll bring the A squad around towards the petrified forest. Not sure we can reach this army, but we should get pretty close. Pitfall. More ingredients. No big deal. And that gets us pretty close. Not quite there, but that's fine. That buys us a little more time to regain spell points. We'll park Setsuna Shy down here, just shy of the fortress. Oh, and I guess we're fighting. Fair enough. Alright, Wrath, what you got for us?
Close ranks.
Oh, wow, they came up right on top of us. Personal space, please.
I will resist!
I guess it's just these two. Well, one now.
This one's mine.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
Nice. Not bad, Waljeff. That is slightly more like it. Oof, that is a hefty will save. Goodness, it's a lot of stabbing. Quantity over quality, my friend. A lesson for your next life. Well, that was fun. Our first Vrolikai. And once again, it does seem our new party build is working out. Hey, stable's done. And you know what? Since we're already in a new day, let's go ahead and knock out some enemy armies. Yeah, I think we can handle that. Let's give it a shot. Another resource node. Fireball online. Focus down the fire elementals. Oh, that hurt. Nuke the cultists before they channel. That'll do. Now we just have to chip away at these guys. Shoot, I didn't even notice that rock there. I thought that was passable terrain. Huzzah! Unexpectedly, the enemy leader's tent turns out to be ship-shape and tidy. Behind glass, an Arcanamerium magical college diploma hangs on a post. In the chest, there is a ceremonial graduation robe, and several magical inventions and patents, the brainchildren of the late cultist leader. One can only speculate on the tragedies that made him lead such a wretched existence. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty simple. Lust for wealth and power. Eye for an eye. +4 composite shortbow. On hit, enemy suffers an extra 1d12 piercing damage. Wow. So the damage is actually 1d6 plus 1d12 plus 4 plus strength. That's not bad at all, but I guess it would come down to how they add in that extra d12 damage. If it's considered a separate source, I could see it having minimal impact, since enemies would essentially double dip on damage resistance. That said, we don't really have anyone who's geared for short bows anyway, so I don't think we'll get much use out of that. Dead end, so let's loop back around. Oh yeah, and this should make for a much simpler fight, because spiders are not fireproof. Crimson Dust. Oh, nice. That's an actual location. Not too far from Grimwood, too. Which we do have to get to at some point. Oh, shoot, I thought they... I see, they only count in the center space, even though the legs overlap. Fair enough. Okay. You know what? I may have overestimated these guys. I think we're fine. The web's just immobilized, so they're effectively wasting their turn while we riddle them with arrows. The grove had long been dry and dead. The spiders that once occupied it have been slaughtered. Monstrous web cocoons hang from the branches, containing the remains of their victims, and a certain number of useful items that miraculously were not dissolved in the spider's corrosive drool. Which nets us Chainmail of Dragonfly. +4 chainmail. Activate once per day to grant all allies in a 30-foot radius. +1 insight on dexterity and to attack rolls, but only against demons for 10 rounds. You know, +1 dex is pretty much useless in most situations. +1 attack is nice, but only against demons for 10 rounds is very limited. Especially when paired with that 30-foot radius. Gotta say, not a particularly impressive item, but +4 chain is +4 chain. And that might look nice on So-So. I think that will be a step up from his current +2 breastplate. Can we reach these guys? We cannot. But that's just as well. That gives us a little time to knock out a dialogue event or two. Let's head back to Dresden. We'll catch up with Seelah real quick. Maybe check in on Arue too. We'll just avoid the Citadel for now. I think we've got 4 events waiting for us there. Seelah! Good days and clear skies. What brings you here, Vex? Oh, I thought you might like to know that we found Jannah on our last outing. Turns out she walked right into a flock of Vrox. I'll be damned. I wish I'd been there. And how is she? Well, it turns out she got caught pretty much right after she fled the Houndheart's camp. The Vrox wanted to do some pretty terrible stuff to her, but I got there before they could. I wish I'd realized earlier that she was such a coward. Not everyone belongs in the war against the demons. I should have talked to Irabeth and sent her somewhere far to the rear. So what happened? Well, we got her out of there alive, but she's a bit worse for wear. Oh, thank you so much. Jannah did a lot of stupid things, but killing her would be wrong. I hope she's in Dresden. I'll find her and have a heart-to-heart with her. If she returned home to Mivon, well, at least I won't have to worry about what happened to her. Nice. So that does at least ease her mind somewhat. Seelah smiles. See ya, Vex. You as well, Seelah. See you around. Okay, let's go have a quick chat with Arue. Drawing her ruby eyes away from the passers-by, Arue looks at you. It's good that you're here. Shall we be silent together? Sure. But also, why? I used to talk a lot before, and all of it was a lie. My words ruined so much. I like silence more now. That's heavy. But sure, fine. We can sit here and enjoy the sound of silence. Alright, folks. I feel like this is a good place to call it. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of some off-screen bookkeeping, and we'll pick up here next time as we see who's waiting for us back in the Citadel. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.